and welcome to the Order of the Lily and Eagle podcast. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Larry.
We spoke about liberating ourselves in a previous podcast on freedom. This time round, I would like to discuss being happy, or how we liberate ourselves from misery. Yes. I know a lot about misery. I was very good at it. I practiced it every day. I was wonderful at being miserable. Oh, yes. How did that go for you, Kevin? Not very well. So, what is happiness? And I'm afraid I'm having to read out a definition because this is my definition and it's a bit complicated. It isn't, but, I'm just trying to prove to you I can read. Okay, it's a particular state in our psyche or our soul that, for me, is a pleasure and which I find very attractive. Now, I don't mean an overwhelming or exaggerated emotion, like a huge high, but it's a sense of deep, deep contentment. And because I prefer happiness to misery, I think to be happy is a great thing to aim for. But the next question is, how to be happy? Yes, quite interesting. Now, this reminds me of a story of my darling sister who went to India for several months. I think she went around the world actually, but she was in India and she found herself a guru, right? And I said, oh, very interesting. And what did the guru say to you? And the guru said, be happy. I said, I'll agree with that. I said, did he tell you how to be happy? And she said to me, the guru said, watch happy movies. Well, it's an approach, but after a while, there are only a certain number of happy movies out there, because happiness doesn't come from out there, it comes from within you. If you're happy with yourself, then what's going on outside generally will follow and mirror what you're projecting. If you're a happy bunny, the world becomes a happy bunny. It doesn't mean you don't see bad things and what have you, but you look at things with a different light, an optimist, let's say. Anyway, I thought that was a telling statement by the guru, because it's a difficult question, how to be happy. So, if I drink some beer or wine or what have you, I become happy, because within alcohol, it helps produce dopamine and serotonin in the brain, or happy hormones in the brain. But if I want to be continuously happy, I'd have to be continuously drinking and become an alcoholic. And the net effect of that would be a very unhappy person, because I've never really met a happy alcoholic. The reason they are alcoholic we can discuss in another podcast. But basically, that's not a solution to being happy. It doesn't mean you can't have a little drink occasionally. Yeah, you can have a drink, but it doesn't really make you happy. And of course, you mentioned one earlier about people thinking money makes you happy. Sorry, I have to repeat the story.
Okay.
Because I used to work at a takeaway, Indian takeaway. They were Pakistani, but anyway, irrelevant. And there was a guy behind the bar, and they're not allowed to serve alcohol to people, but okay, that's another story. And he said, I want to win the lottery. I want to, get millions of pounds. And I said, okay, why is that? It'll make me happy. I said, okay, so what will you do with your money? He said, I'll buy a Maserati. I said, but that's good. You wouldn't be worried that it'll be nicked off the drive because, sports car and what. He said, no, Maserati will make me happy. I said, okay, make you happy. Great. How long for? And he said, well, what do you mean? I said, look, when I buy something, usually it's about 2 weeks to 4 weeks. And then, a new car, I'll clean it, I'll wash it, I'll keep it to perfect standards, I'll go out at night and give it a hug and go, oh, lovely car, No, after about 2 weeks, it's like, oh, okay, it's just there now. Just buy something. Before long, it just becomes part of the furniture, I said, so what do you do after that? And he said, oh, well, I'll buy another one. I said, so you'll just go through your life burning up your money in order to be happy for little 2 weeks stints. Well, yeah. I said, okay. And have you won the lottery? He said, no. I said, when do you expect to win the lottery? I said, I don't know. I said, okay. So in the meantime, why don't you practice being happy so when you actually do win that money, you'll be even massively, overwhelmingly happy because you're already happy. Yes, he didn't really like the answer or what I said to him. And unfortunately, people have this stupid idea that money is the answer. You do need money. It helps you get your needs and your necessities in life, food and what have you, getting to work. But
how much is enough?
What happens is it's never enough. And we see loads of people out there who no way they can even enjoy even one scintilla of the accumulated wealth. And not many of them are really happy because they're still chasing more. But we do need a certain amount of money, and that's certainly true. Anyway, money is good. Oh, yes. So what we have to do is we're unhappy because we've got a whole load of thoughts and feelings like money will help make me happy. Well, it'll give you material stuff, but it won't necessarily make you internally happy. So you have to get rid of all those things that make you unhappy. You've got to develop and manifest your true worth, because if you feel you're worth it, and I'm not advertising, that advert because you're worth it, your self-worth, your self-belief, and that takes a lot of effort and time and exercise. So it's a big, long shopping list of things that you have to go through. And I don't mean retail therapy, guys. I mean, there's a list of things which are very easy to say, I've got to believe in myself. Yeah. How do you do that?
It always gets back to the how.
It's always that. And luckily, we all have our own particular distortions, and may I say, perversions, internally. But the method, the way to correct these things is essentially the same approach. So again, we have the law of similarity and dissimilarity. You can use the same technique. And of course, a lot of them are out there already, but it's targeting it specifically for you. You yourself have to do it for yourself. Helped and guided by other people is possible, but it's better if you can do it yourself, because then you know it's working. And hopefully we can change ourselves to a better self. And on that note, E flat, maybe not, I'll finish the podcast. And hopefully next time we'll have a chat about how you actually change yourself.
Signing off for now.
Burra da.